stays in the area right in front. No one else starts in the box, kind of around the center. There are 5 wide receivers, and one of them can set up as a running back. That's basically how it works. Every drive starts on the 30-yard line. However, you can kick off to practice kicking. Punting works basically the same way punting would always work, except you can't run it back. And kicking basically works the same. 2-point in the 10-yard, about from the 2. And the important thing, Bruce, the clock. What's up with the clock in this game?
Well, once the ball is hiked, the quarterback only has 4 seconds to throw the ball. And that's been something that's been a little bit of an issue this year with some maybe generous counting by the officials in both games, both ways. We saw one game earlier this year, the coaching staff not too happy with the fact that a little hesitant because, listen, let's be honest, the referees do not want to make that.
No, they don't. They want to let the kids play, for sure.
So that has been a little bit of an issue. But the other thing is the clock does not stop, except in a few very specific instances. And that has been a factor this year.
Yeah, it has. As we talked about before, because the clock moves so quickly, because it doesn't stop, large amounts of time get eaten up very quickly along the way. So, we saw the first week, the Middlebury Tigers' first week against Otter Valley, they only actually, both teams combined, had 2 possessions the entire third quarter. Certainly never seen anything like that in a football game, even in the most plodding game. I mentioned St. Albans before. Even in a classic Middlebury St. Albans matchup, I don't think you'd only have 2 possessions in the third quarter.
No, and again, in that first of the season as well, Otter Valley had one drive that was 13 plays. It was 95 yards, but they didn't score, and that really came back to cost them later in the game.
Well, we'll see what happens tonight. We'll step aside and be back for kickoff on 92.1 WBTK.
Since 1966,
the
needs of Addison County. Their family-owned and operated business has helped their customers look their best in good times and tough times with reliable, dependable, and quality service that you can depend on. Providing same-day, on-site cleaning using state-of-the-art technology and machinery, the team at Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning can clean just about anything. From jackets to leather items, tablecloths to doilies, and wedding dresses to vintage items, trust the Desiree team to make your items look perfect. Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning offers free pickup and delivery in the Middlebury area, including a drop-off location at the Vermont Marketplace in Bristol, and convenient hours. To help their customers impacted by the COVID-19 outbreak, Desiree is offering 24-hour laundromat service 7 days a week and dry cleaning services 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning on Exchange Street in Middlebury.
At All-Star Fuels of Bristol and Heart and Mead Energy of Heinsberg, they serve all of Addison County and beyond. They provide high-quality products to homes and businesses no matter how small or big they are. Whether it's heating oil or propane, you'll get automatic delivery. Now is the time to get a quote on a pre-buy, too. Call the company that delivers what you need. All-Star Fuels in Bristol and Heart and Mead in Heinsberg. Call 453-3101. That's 453-3101.
This is Tigers football on Addison County's WBTK. Port Henry, Bridgeport, Middlebury. 92.1 WBTK. This is Middlebury Tigers football on 92.1 WBTK.
The sky is pink to the west. The lights are on. It's turning dark. It's feeling like the second half of the football season, but it's not yet. It's only the end of the first third as the Middlebury Tigers get ready to take on the Mill River Minutemen in the third game of the season. And Bruce, I think we're expecting some scoring tonight.
Yeah, we certainly are. For Middlebury, this is their third game of the year. They're 1-1. They won the first week 20-14. They lost a tough game earlier this week, a 24-20 setback. And the Tigers looking to get things started right here and get back in the win column.
And they're out here getting ready to go. It is their quarterback, Ryan Thomas Daniel, Jr. Out here, he's got 5 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 2 to the left, starting on the 30-yard line. He drops back, looks to his left, comes back center. He's got an easy double into the middle. Lots of space there, flying down for Will Berry. He's accelerating down across the 40, down across the 30. Looks like he's going to get it tagged out around the 25. Excellent pickup there for a 45-yard pitch and catch.
And that's not a bad way to start the game either. We talked a little bit earlier in the pregame show about Middlebury looking to get something done quickly, and it's a great way to get things started.
And that was out of really one of their favorite looks, going to those short passes, getting them in there and letting the receiver get a chance to make a play. He was just able to out-accelerate the people near him. And it's Ryan back in the shotgun, looking over towards his left where he's got three receivers. Willow pops his hand up asking for the ball, but instead it goes down to the middle of the secondary where nobody's there. It's going to be 2nd and 10 coming up from the Tigers from the 25 of the Minutemen.
And really a no-huddle offense here. The Tigers don't spend a lot of time in the huddle anyway, but the clock does not stop on incomplete passes, so you really have to get things going quickly.
And that's an adjustment, I would say, for me in terms of watching the game and the timing. That's been the biggest adjustment in my mind. I mean, obviously for them playing, the physicality is very different. But in terms of telling the story, Ryan Tepsano drops back. He's got right in front of him again. This time, though, falls off the hands of Sam Warren. Sam Warren was the Bigs JP Carrera player of the game in week 1, often for plays like that. He did a nice job coming across the middle and picking up lots of yards for the Tigers. Tigers come out here looking at 3rd and 10 from the 25 of the Minutemen. Ryan's got 3 to his left, 2 over to his right, up along the line of scrimmage. He calls for it from the shotgun, looks back. He's got people in front of him surveying the field, starts to look right, a little inside. There he goes. Nice open space there. It's Barry again. And he looks like he's going to pick up about 12 on that throw.
Enough for a first down.
And Williams over 50 yards already on the evening. 57 yards on 2 catches. Middlebury Tigers set up for 1st and 10 on the 13-yard line. 12:48 left to go in this first quarter. 0-0. Tigers first possession. And Thomas Dano drops back, looking around the field. He's going to go in the short middle. And he's going to pick a decent number of yards there. Pass is complete to Dalton Rayu. Looks like that was a game of about 6 on that play. So far, they're being pretty efficient, Bruce.
They certainly are, and getting things moved up the field quickly. And again, 2nd and 4 now from the 13, or from the 7, excuse me. Scoreless, 12:15 left to play in the first quarter.
And here they come up to the line. This time it is going to be Colin Bradford in the backfield. Well, Ryan, he's going to move his receiver from the right to left. Heavy imbalance over on the right side. That's where he's going to turn and look. He's got someone out in the flat. And he's going to turn up. Is he going to get a touchdown? It was. 7-yard touchdown. I think they said it was. I don't believe that was Warren. I think it was number 86, Gabe Cotel, with a touchdown there.
So that was a 7-play, 3-minute drive, 6-0 Middlebury.
Well, it's certainly Middlebury would like it. That's the way to start. They have not been given some of the scores of the games earlier in the year. Or different people have played games where you've seen things like 57 points and things like that. Middlebury scored in the first game and 20 in the second. So it's going to feel good to get some points on the board here in the first drive. Here comes the snap. Here comes the hold. And there goes the kick. And it is good. Tigers ahead 7-0. 92-1 WVTK.
It was a beautiful summer here in
You're
Middlebury.
a little loud.
Okay.
Hi, this is Emma, daughter of Eric Carter from the Carter
Who was
Insurance
the
Agency.
pass
As
recipient
cold
of
temperatures
touchdown?
come, so do the thoughts of heating our homes. Whether you have a hot air furnace,
From Daniel,
pellet
right?
or wood
Yeah.
stove, propane heater, or electric heater,
Did you turn
they
yourself
all
down,
should be
Yorkie?
inspected prior to starting. You
Okay.
should also consider having your
I think it's
chimney inspected.
overshadowing
At the end of
first
the
spot.
summer, it's time to start putting those toys away. One thing to keep in mind is winterizing your camper or boat. What if they weren't winterized properly and there was an issue come spring? Most of these losses can be covered by insurance with the right coverage. Save yourself the hassle, the expense, and inconvenience of the loss and the claim. A few minutes and dollars spent in prevention will go a long way in making for a more enjoyable winter. To learn more, visit the Carter Agency at 2 South Street in Bristol, 453-6054. That's 453-6054. Or online at carteragencyvt.com. The Carter Agency, ensuring what you do.
This is where the Middlebury Tigers play. 92.1 WVTK.
Mill River's first possession of the night. And throw here on 2nd down. Ball's going to go out of the receiver's hands. That was Severy again, trying to bring the ball in. Flag down on the play against Mill River. Illegal motion called against the offense. That is going to move them back. Oh, it won't be. There's decline. It's going to be 3rd and 8 coming up here for the Minutemen.
And briefly recapping that Middlebury drive, it was a 7-play, 70-yard drive that took 3 minutes off the clock, culminating in that pass from Daniel to Gabe Cotel The kick was good. 7-0 Middlebury. 10-12 left to play first quarter, and the Tigers up by 7.
And Mill River coming up to the line. Quarterback Dallas Bryant asking for the football. He gets snapped, drop back, looking down the middle of the field, looks over to the right side, throws close, knocked down. Sorry, it's Chris Burnett is the quarterback. Pass for Sully, they have gone to him a lot early and often here, not able to bring it in. It's going to be 4th and 8 coming up for Mill River. One would expect a punt to be in the offing. Chris Burnett has been effective with the passes. Maybe they've been a little hot into the hands of his receiver, Philip Severy. Either way, the Tigers are going to have a chance. They're up 7-0 to get some more points on the board. Here comes the snap. Here comes the punt. Away from the 26. And it's going to be fielded there at the 35. Either way, the Tigers are going to take over at the 30. That's where they're going to begin their second possession of the night, leading the Minutemen 7-0. Well, for the Middlebury Tigers, one thing we talked about in the pregame is that it would be nice to see them really kind of take some of the pressure off their short game by opening up out the back. The one thing Fairhaven did that was effective against the Tigers was to occasionally send receivers in long routes, and they would pull the secondary back and create more space underneath. The Tigers have, in a lot of ways, replicated a bit of their running game. They tended to stay close. Even that long pass play before to Barry was a short pass that went long. Here come the Tigers, 1st and 10. Oh, they give it from the 36. And he drops back to Samastano. Surveying, looking around, kind of throws long there over the head of Willem Barry. Unable to bring it in. It's going to be 2nd down coming up for the Tigers. And, you have to feel for the defensive players here. I'd realized in the last 2 weeks we haven't been talking a lot about defensive plays, big, but it's hard. I mean, the tag, they don't get to do a lot of the things that often look like big defensive plays out there. So you have to feel they're basically running around trying to cover people in a little bit of a desperate way. It's a tough game to play defense. 4 down on the line, 1 in the backfield. It's Colin Bradford. Now 3 over to the right side. Tapasado drops back, looks over to the right, is able to complete a pass there to Cotel. Looks like it was a gain of about 6. That is the second pass to Gabe Cotel tonight. He's got 13 yards for and a touchdown. Right now, time's ticking away. 7:38 left to go on the clock here in this first quarter. Tigers leading 7-0. Looking at a 3rd and 4 coming up from their own 42.5-yard line. Ryan Thomas standing in the shotgun with 3 to his right, 2 to his left. Drops back, looks towards his middle where he's got all sorts of people crossing. And he's going to throw. He's going to almost get picked, but the player loses it out of his hands. Caleb Spencer had it. He's going to want that one back.
Yeah, Spencer stepped right in front of the Tiger receiver, and as you mentioned, just dropped the ball.
And consistently, the Tigers have continued to stay close on these passes.
They have. Well, it's been very successful for them this year. That short game has worked very well. You run the route, you get the 5 or 6 yards, and then set up a short 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5, which has been effective for them.
And the Tigers now are going to punt, though. Can get a 4th and 4 from their own 41. Here's going to come that punt. And receivers back are ready to catch it right about on the 26 or so. That's where Mill River will take over for their second possession of the night.
6:30 left to play in this first quarter. 7-0 Middlebury. Middlebury scoring on their first drive, and since then, things have kind of calmed down a little bit for both sides.
Yeah, Middlebury has not played particularly high-scoring games this year. As much as we've seen high-scoring games other places, if you looked at the book at the end, you think, okay, it looks like a regular Middlebury football game. So, we certainly saw the first drive, a little bit of fireworks there. But right now, it's Mill River's opportunity to try to answer. It is Chris Burnett back in the shotgun, 3 to his right, 2 to his left for the Minutemen. He calls for it, drops back, looking down, quick pass there in the front, and that is the 3rd consecutive drop by Philip Severy. And right now, I think they're going to him maybe a little tough, and right now he's probably overthinking it.
Well, we've seen this year where dropped passes have definitely hurt teams. We saw that happen in both games so far this year for the Tigers' opponents.
And right now they're back again. Chris Burnett back in the shotgun, looking around. He's going to come in the middle again. This time it is going to be a complete pass to number 59, Galen Treppenny. That is Galen's first catch of the day. Going to chalk up to about a 6-yard gain. And it is going to be Third and a long 4 coming up for the Minutemen. And Chris Burnett. Chris Burnett calls for it. He drops back. He's got 3 to his left, 2 to his right. He's got 1 kind of in the middle, and nothing happens there. Ball falls to the earth. Pass incomplete. It's going to be 4th down coming up. 4th and about 4.
In some games this year, we've seen long drives where there's only been a couple of possessions in the quarter or half. 4th and 2 right now for the Minutemen. The Tigers will be getting the ball back. This is their 3rd possession in the first quarter.
Yeah, but a little bit of pushback. The quarters doesn't have that much. You watch how quickly this first quarter ends. I think you're farther along than you think. And the punt is away, and the Tigers are going to take over, as you say, for their 3rd possession. And, it'll be fun to see them mix them up a little bit in some of these plays. A lot of rub routes in the middle of the. If you're watching out on the field, what you'll see a lot of times is those inner wide receivers will come across and kind of rub off. They can't do it too physically, obviously, but they come through the space of the defenders and kind of frees up the receivers. The problem is it causes a lot of choke points in the middle of the field. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here, see if the Tigers start attacking the open spaces on the outsides a little bit more. Right now, Ryan Thomas Stadium in with his running back and his 4 wide receivers. He's got 3 to the left, 1 to the right. He's waiting for the snap. Here it comes. He drops back. He looks over towards his right, and they are looking to take the top off. They have a receiver jetting downfield. So there's a chance. And the ball's going to fall to the earth. Tigers would love to see a pass interference there, but not going to come. It doesn't look like. It's going to be a 2nd down.
And that ball was well thrown, but it hung up in the air a little while.
Yeah, Williams showed some speed out there. He had a step on that play, and, that's one of those plays that you practice, you work on, and you'll get better with time. It's one thing to have those reps during practice, but it's another to do it during live game situation, and I'd like to see him try to hit that a few more times to see if they can't get that timing down. Ryan drops back now with the 2nd down. He's looking a little closer, and this time it's out of Sam's hands and gets picked. Luckily, Sam's able to get the tackle, but that is an interception by number 80, Ryan Booger.
And Booger stepped in front of the Tigers receiver, and the Tigers were fortunate that they were able to tag him as soon as he caught that ball.
Well, it was a very heady decision there by Sam Warren to reach out and be able to tag him. That worked pretty well. It could have been easy to not even kind of think of that in that moment. The game's so different than what you'd be used to. Usually you'd have to be shifting his entire body and getting into pursuit mode there. Good work by him to prevent anything else. But right now, the Tigers, leading 7-0, are now looking at the Minutemen in their own territory. Quarterback calls for it, looks to his right side. He's got 3 receivers, goes towards his middle. This time it is complete. It's going to be about a 5-yard gain. This time it's going to go to number 37, I think, Ross Badgley. 6-yard gainer there. Going to bring up 2nd and 4 for the Minutemen. They're sitting at the Tigers' 33-yard line. Chris Burnett calls for it. He's got 3 to his left, 2 to his right. Burnett drops back, looks right in front of him again. Trying to get his hand over back there a little quickly, but it was number 59, Galen Treveni, with his 2nd catch of the night. Looks like he got about 3 yards on that catch. Right now, Mill River mixing it up a little bit. Burnett back in the shotgun. 3 to his left, 2 up at the line on his right. And he drops back. He's going to look right in front of him, looking for the easy play. I'm not sure if they're going to give it to him. They're not. He ran back behind the play. Philip Severy did. And realistically, he probably lost a yard.
It looks like he did. And just one other thing to throw out here, Bjarke, it looks like the field is a little slick because of the rain earlier today.
Yeah, it was a wet day. Some youth sports in Middlebury got canceled today because of the wet fields over at Mary Hogan. And it is down Chris Burnett back in the backfield. Got a running back. He's got a wide receiver in motion in front of him. And he throws about to that running back. And it's Trevani moving forward, getting a little space there. Pretty nice pickup. Gained about 8 yards. Trappidi's starting to emerge here as a reliable receiver for Chris Burnett out there on the field. They went pretty early. They went very heavily to Philip Severy, but Trappidi's getting some more looks here right now. Mill River trailing 7-0. Time for another play here in the first quarter. Here comes the snap. Quarterback drops back. A flag on the play. He's able to throw it out to his left for no real gain. See what the call is. Another catch for Trappidi. This is going to be motion against Mill River. And they will accept that, will the Tigers. This will move the Mill River Minutemen back. And they'll do it again. Right now, 13 seconds on the clock as it ticks out towards the end of the first quarter. You'd have to expect that that's going to be the end of this quarter. We'll step aside and we'll be back for the second. It's Middlebury Tigers against Mill River on 92.1 WVTK.
Since 1966, Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning in Middlebury has been serving the needs of Addison County.
Okay, we'll fix it.
An operated business has helped their customers look their best in good
Yeah, I keep on having to boost his volume to hear him.
Dependable and quality service that you can depend on.
Yep.
Providing same-day, on-site cleaning.
So, bring him up and bring you down.
Machinery, the team at Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning can clean just about anything. From jackets to leather items, tablecloths to doilies, and wedding dresses to vintage items, trust the Desiree team to make your items look perfect. Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning offers free pickup and delivery in the Middlebury area, including a drop-off location at the Vermont Marketplace in Bristol and convenient hours. To help their customers impacted by the COVID-19 outbreak, Desiree is offering 24-hour laundromat service 7 days a week and dry cleaning services 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning on Exchange Street in Middlebury.
Now back to Tigers football on 92.1 WVTK.
And it's the beginning of the second quarter here on 92.1 WVTK. The Middlebury Tigers taking on the Mill River Minutemen. It's going to be 1st and 15 coming up from Mill River. They are sitting on the Tiger 27-yard line. Quarterback Chris Burnett's back in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers to his left, 2 off to his right, 1 way out wide to his right. Goes for the near receiver without much of a gain, kind of the same play they ran last time and didn't get anything. Looked like that was Jacob Langlos with his second catch of the day. Sorry, his first catch of the day. No real gain on that. They will give him a yard. It's going to be 2nd and 14 coming up for Mill River. And here comes the pass delivery to the quarterback. Quarterback throws right out of his hand. Ball just slipped out. Bruce, you talked about the wetness of the field. That looked like a wet ball.
Yeah, he looked like he went to cock his arm and throw it and just slipped out, falling harmlessly to his left. 14:20 left to play second quarter, 7-0 Tigers. The ball on the 27.
And looking for a 3rd and 15 here. You know, you got to feel less confident having just slipped it out of your hand. Burnett has a little trouble catching it, was able to do so, going across the middle, throws it a little low for his receiver. And right now the efficiency is going downhill here for the Mill River Minutemen. And one thing we've seen so far this season, Bruce, is that passing games have been fairly efficient. Even last week when there were quite a few interceptions, it was efficient. Right now, Mill River's having trouble connecting.
Yeah, well, it didn't help in the previous play. They had that the ball scored out of his hands, but you're right. The passing proficiency has not really been there so far.
Well, it's a lot colder night, as you've pointed out. It's a more wet night, and these are the bigs, keep in mind. These are not, actually. Chris Burnett is back, but this is now a different crew. It should be the Littles out there playing, and it is. That pass went incomplete to number 28, Jacob Langlois.
And it was Jack Rizzo knocking that pass down for the Tigers. A nice defensive play there. So we'll have a change on downs here. 13:15 left to play. Second quarter, 7-0 Tigers.
Well, if you're surprised that I said Chris Burnett's name, even though we are in the second quarter and you switch out the teams, the one position that does stay the same between the bigs and the littles, or can, is the quarterbacks. The Tigers are choosing not to do it that way, and it's been effective for them so far, but other teams are doing it that way. All right, Zach Bean now in a quarterback for the Tigers. He's got 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. They're going to look to make some hay out here. Well, they can. And they have the pass out there to Gabe Dunn. Looks like it's about a 5-yard gain there for Dunn from the pass from Bean. And that's a combination that would have been really good in any football season. Gabe Dunn really contributed more and more over the year last year, and certainly as a senior, a great opportunity to go run around. Right now, he catches pass from Zach Bean out there having fun, looking to get some open space. Zach goes up higher, though. Tries to get Bodie here on the near sideline. Bodie Rubright unable to connect. And the Tigers will be looking at 3rd down. Brings up a 3rd and 4 from the 32. 3rd and 4 coming up from the 32-yard line of the Tigers. Tigers are leading 7-0. A game where they scored on the first possession, but there's been quite a few such possessions since where neither team has been operational fully. So right now, Zach B drops back. He's got options over on his right side. He's able to pick up a 1st down, it looks like, Nikolai Lushka able to bring it in for about a 4-yard gain. That's his first catch of the day. And it's a first down for Middlebury. And I would really love, I've talked about it before, but it'd be really fun to see these speed players out there. The Tigers really look to challenge the corners out there, challenge those open spaces in the back of the defense, really pull them downfield that might open up spaces inside. And right now it's being called for. 3 receivers to the right. Now they are going to throw it nicely downfield. It's done. Can't bring it in. Look good, though. Those kind of plays, that worked. That looked nice.
Absolutely. He had a step there, and that was a well-thrown ball.
But that was nice to see, getting in those open positions. That's all right. That's one Gable want back and just squeeze it in a little better, a little more next time around. He's been there before. And right now for the Tigers, 10:56 left to go in the second quarter. The second quarter's already ticking away, Bruce. Third of it's gone.
Certainly is. It's flying by, which is why each of these possessions seems to gain more importance as the game goes on.
Zach Bean coming up to the line, looking to the 2nd and 10 for the Tiger 37. He's got 3 receivers right, 2 to his left. They all go in open space. He looks over to his right, pats it, comes back to the middle, gets picked. And that did plague the Tigers last week. And it did get intercepted by number 3, Johnny Verdon.
So that interception, the second that the Tigers have given up this evening. 10-17 left to play second quarter, 7-0 Tigers, but a turnover there, and Mill River will take over.
Well, a really strange thing, the first week of the season, there were no interceptions either way, and I was kind of like, wow, this is really efficient. People seem to manage to find their windows. Last week, both teams threw 4 interceptions. Tonight already, we have 2 for the Tigers. And right now, it's the quarterback from Mill River, Chris Burnett, back in the shotgun. Receivers going way downfield, except for one who's in close. Able to get forward. There's that field again. Just reached up and snagged him. It was an 11-yard gain, though, catch by Joseph Langlois. They've gone to him early and often here. They've thrown to him 3 times. He's caught 2. It's going to be 1st and 10 coming up for Mill River. Mill River, who at first looked to be potentially overmatched with the way the Tigers walked down the field, and now managed to keep it close well into the second quarter, looking right now to try to even the game if they could finish off this drive with a touchdown. And their quarterback, Chris Burnett, back in the shotgun, 3 to his left, 2 to his right, dropping back, looking over to his right, man coming across the middle, able to pick it up. It's going to be a gain of about 6 yards, and that play of Dallas Bryant. He came streaking from the right to the left in the middle of the field. And it's going to be Mill River looking at a 2nd and 5. Ball is on the 34-yard line for Mill River. Burnett back in the shotgun. This time he has 3 off to his right, taking advantage of the wide side of the field. 2 to his left. And he asks for the football. Here it comes. Drops back. He's got some options in front of him. Goes to the nearest option, and drops are plaguing both teams tonight, Bruce.
Yeah, it looked like he was almost thinking about running before he caught that one, and it cost him. So it'll be 3rd and 4 now from the 34. 8:25 left to play second quarter. Middlebury up by a touchdown, 7-0.
And right now for Middlebury, good opportunity here. Far enough away where if stopping, well, they probably would go for it based on what I've seen so far this year, but you never know. We haven't really seen kind of field position gamesmanship so far much this year. And it is Burnett back in that shotgun, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. He drops back. He looks towards his middle, checks to his left, goes back to his right to an open receiver who is unable to bring it in. And Bruce, for those at home who couldn't see it, that was a perfect example of looking where you were going before you start running. The receiver literally turned his head as evidently as possible and then dropped the ball.
Well, we talked about adjustments that are going to have to be made during the game, and I think there's a timeout here, which might not be a bad thing here for the Minutemen because they are having trouble holding on to the ball and also catching the ball right now.
Yeah, and to what degree the ball is so affected potentially by the weather here, the way players are dropping the ball. And it's funny because you get very used to certain things. I've gotten used to calling the game in a certain way and kind of remembering things in a certain way. And so I'm sitting here going, wow, I've never seen this many drops. But, of course, I've never seen this many drops because we've never seen this many throws, right? So it does change a little bit the way that you kind of keep the perspective of things. It seems like, wow, they're dropping it all over the place. You've never seen this before. And that, I think, to me, is one of the fascinating things, if I could say during this time out, of you and I, Bruce, getting to tell this story to the people at home, is that for us, even though we have the verbiage, I think, to tell the story, it's a different story than the one that we're used to. And it's unusual at our age, middle-aged men, to get a chance to learn something completely new and do it on the fly. It's been an interesting process.
Well, it's been interesting for the players, but it's also been interesting for the broadcasters because it definitely you have to do things a little bit quicker.
Yeah, and the timing is completely different. It's a fun process. And right now it's fun for the Mill River Minutemen coming down 4th and 4, getting a chance to throw it around. Player out there in the middle of the field. It's got a knock down there, but they're not too worried about it. That's going to be pass incomplete. And right now, it is going to be Middlebury's ball. Middlebury leading 7-0 here, about halfway or so, actually more than halfway when I turned around. In the second quarter, Middlebury leading 7-0. They scored on their first drive, Bruce, but haven't yet again.
No, it's gone back and forth, and both teams played a little bit by drops and inability to really get anything going other than that first drive. So here we are, 7:05 left to play in the second quarter. Middlebury up by a touchdown, up by 7, 1st and 10 from their 34.
Zach Bean coming out. He's going to have 4 players to his left, 1 to his right. He's going to have Kaufman going in the flat on his left, but does come back to his right to his reliable receiver. Bodie Rubright gets about a 7-yard gain on that pass. It's going to be 2nd and 4 coming up for the Tigers. And, Zach, early on in the first game, Zach went to Bodie a lot. I think right now that's a good idea. As much as I've been advocating for taking the top off, I think right now for Zach, keeping it kind of calm and in front of him, like we just see there, as he throws it to the middle of the field and gets about an 8-yard connection and first down to Nikolai Lusk. First and 10 coming up for the Tigers from their own 49-yard line. And here comes Bean up to the line, well, at least into the shotgun. 3 receivers over to his left, 2 to his right. He drops back. He's got a receiver over to the middle, but decides to go downfield to the second level, where Gabe Dunn was coming over to the left, from the left to the right. The ball falls to the earth, incomplete. And we're going to be looking at a 2nd and 10 from the Middlebury Tiger 49-yard line. The Tigers are leading 7-0 with 5:44 left to go in this Week 3 matchup with the Mill River Minutemen. Tigers looking over at the near sideline, getting their signals in from their coaches. And now going back to the line. 3 receivers and kind of a neat pattern out there, kind of a V shape for all their receivers, going away from Zach Bean. Man goes in motion. Nikolai Lush from the right to the left. Now they're all in motion and running around the middle of the field. And it is Bodie Rubright getting a reliable 7 yards there in the middle of the field for Zach Bean. Bodie's able to really take advantage in many ways of his size and just kind of get out into space and settle, hunker down, and make some nice catches.
Well, one thing we've seen this year, whenever the Tigers need to get some yardage, Bodie Rubright is one of the players they go to. He's got very good hands.
3rd and 3 coming up for the Tigers from the 45 of Mill River. Bean's looking around. He's got Bodie coming across the middle. Now he has Gabe coming across the middle. And then a 3rd layer in the middle after they vacated. It went to Colby Hammond for his first catch of the night. That's going to be a complete pass for about a 8-yard gain or so.
First down for Middlebury. 1st and 10 with the ball.
1st and 10 coming up for the Middlebury Tigers. Looking efficient now like they did at the beginning of the game. Being up at the line, he's got 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Drops back, he's got some options. They're coming open in layers, and he's going to have 4 down the field. Nikolai Luch. And he's going to get that at about the 17-yard line. So we'll give him a 20-yard gain on that pass.
1st and 10 from Middlebury with the ball on the 17.
Right now, Zach Bean settled down from that earlier interception and been able to respond.
And he put that ball in a position where Nikolai could make a great catch, and they certainly did. 3:50 left to play second quarter, 7-0 Middlebury.
Nice looking play. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Bean calls for it. 3 receivers to his right. Luke's in front of him. He's got a couple players in front of him now. Working to get over. He's got Luke's in the end zone. I think he's going to hold it for a second call. And, that's not a terrible idea. Look, just letting it run out. Don't think of it like the pass rush. Sometimes you just have to eat it. And I think it's a mature decision at a certain point to say, okay, this play isn't quite working out for us. Guess it's going to go out the back end. Let's try another down.
Well, you know what it is? It's game management. It's field management. And it's, as you said, it's a smart play sometimes to not make a foolish play. take a penalty as opposed to throwing an interception.
3:10 left to go in this half. 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. Being calls for it. Josh back. He's got a player over on the left side. Is able to complete, but then it squirts out of the player's hand. And that's going to be no good. I think that was Gabe Dunn. Again, the drops plaguing them. Gabe's dropped a couple tonight. A sure-handed receiver normally. 3rd and 10 coming up for the Tigers. And right now, you have to wonder for some of these players whether there's a little bit of question as they're waiting for the ball, whether or not they're going to be able to squeeze in. We've seen a lot of drops, and even if it's not you dropping the ball, even if you haven't had a reception on the night, you're wondering how hard the ball feels, how cold it feels on a wet night here in early October. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right for Zach Bean. Zach looks over to his right of the flat, goes back to it, tells his receiver to move. The receiver's able to bring it in. That was Mason Kaufman on the catch. Mason's not going to get a whole lot there. Looks like he got about a 4-yard pickup. And, that's another... That, to me, is another place where this game is different because the players we would hear the names of constantly in normal years, Mason Kaufman would be getting the ball a lot as a runner, I would think, and you're just not hearing it. It's his first touch of the game. Very different situation. Middlebury Tigers here are going for field goal. 11:47 left to go in the half. It is going to be Nikolai Luce with a really nice-looking kick. That was beautiful. And the Tigers are up 10-0 on 92-1 WVTK.
Do you have jewelry or coin collections just collecting?
So it's a 22-yard field goal, I believe, right?
The price of gold and silver is at an all-time high, and it's a great time to sell. Visit Martin's Coins and Jewelry for a free appraisal and the highest payout in the area. John Martin, owner of Martin's Coins and Jewelry, is a senior numismatist and a lifetime member of the ANA. They buy rare coins and jewelry, gold, silver, platinum, diamonds, and watches. Martin's Coins and Jewelry is Vermont's #1 gold and silver buyer on Shelburne Road in South Burlington, right across from Heritage Toyota.
Hi, this is John Wallace, graduate gemologist and owner of Autumn Gold in Middlebury, Vermont. Stop in and melt someone's heart. Whether you're looking for fine handcrafted jewelry, a rare gemstone, or an awesome diamond, come in and see what we have to offer.
Mill River, 134 left to go on the clock. Here comes the snap. I'm doing it for MC. And here comes the pass out into open space there. The receiver unable to bring it in. It's going to be 2nd and 10 coming up for Mill River.
High school football is on 92.1 WVTK.
And Mill River, having just had the ball dropped to the turf, is coming up now for a 2nd and 10. 1:11 left to go in this half. Chance here, Mill River should be moving quickly to get back up to the line of scrimmage to try to make something happen. They have downs and they have timeouts. Here comes the snap. It's low. The quarterback's able to corral it. Throws it very low. Interesting for such brief time on the clock. It's as though they don't really want to press the issue. I have to feel like coaching works well. Here comes a timeout at least. But I have felt like coaching has worked differently this season than normally, Bruce.
Well, Coach Dennis Smith, really with his legendary coaching prowess, he really knows how to manage a game. We've seen how well he's done over the years, and there have been some times this year where I've actually thought that he has outcoached the other teams. I mean, he knows what he's doing, and again, you're right. You gotta manage the field.
Yep, and so the Tigers right now looking at with about 53 seconds left here on the clock. Looking at Mill River, talking over, see what they can do. Tigers are ahead 10-0, and still not a high-scoring game, Bruce.
Not a high-scoring game. A lot of possessions, but only the touchdown on the first drive of the game for the Tigers, and then this last field goal, a 22-yard field goal by Nikolai Luce. Boy, he is a good-looking kicker.
He is. He really has. And for the moment he started kicking last year, he looked absolutely tremendous. So just keep working there. There's something there going for the boy.
Another weapon for the Tigers.
3 to the left, 2 to the right for Mill River here, looking at a 3rd and 10, and they're going to throw it loud. They are going to get a connection of about the 45. And that's going to be a pickup of 15 yards. See if they come up to the line. Looks like they're going to take a timeout out of the Minutemen. I think that pass went to number 10, Evan McPhee.
And Middlebury Union High School Tiger football on WVTK is brought to you in part this season by Sanderson Ducharme Funeral Services on Main Street in Middlebury and Main Street in Castleton. Caring, compassionate professionals serving the community since the early 1900s. Desiree Dry Cleaning and Middlebury Dry Cleaning and Full Service Laundromat, located at 1232 Exchange Street in Middlebury with a drop-off location at the Vermont Marketplace in Bristol. Monument Farms of Weybridge for local farm fresh milk from their farm to your local store. And LaBerge Insurance Agency Incorporated for all your insurance needs on Washington Street in Middlebury.
43.2 left on the clock here in this first half. Mill River's trailing the Tigers 10-0, but looking to see if they can get something on the board. We've not seen any evidence of their kicking game tonight, so we can't really say whether or not that would be an option at the end of this drive. But certainly they need to get a lot of yards quickly, and as a result, they send their receivers down the field. They say one in particular, he skies, but he just jumps too early. Everyone at the end there kind of jumps very hard to time and jumped too early and falls to the earth. Time's ticking away. They're running back. They're going to try it again. Why not? Run it. They wicked prevent for the Middlebury Tigers. Nobody's within 8 yards of the line of scrimmage. And drop back. They have all sorts of shorter options. Going to go to that sideline, keeping in mind, though, that the sideline won't kill the clock. Pass is complete. That's a gain of about 14. That went to number 40. Lipicola. All right, getting ready here for the snap. They go out into their route again. Quarterback's really going to hit this time. Score line going to be all sorts of people in there. The ball is going to fall helplessly to the dirt. And that ends the first half for the Tigers leading 10-0. You're listening to Tiger Football, Week 3 of the regular season against the Mill River Minutemen. It's 92-1 WVTK.
At All-Star Fuels of Bristol and Heart and Meat Energy of Heinsberg, they serve all of Addison County and beyond. They provide high-quality products to homes and businesses no matter how small or big they are. Whether it's heating oil or propane, you'll get automatic delivery. Now is the time to get a quote on a pre-buy, too. Call the company that delivers what you need. All-Star Fuels in Bristol and Heart and Meat in Heinsberg. Call 453-3101. That's 453-3101.
Do you have jewelry or coin collections just collecting dust? They may be worth money. The price of gold and silver is at an all-time high, and it's a great time to sell. Visit Martin's Coins and Jewelry for a free appraisal and the highest payout in the area. John Martin, owner of Martin's Coins and Jewelry, is a senior numismatist and a lifetime member of the rare coins and jewelry, gold, silver, platinum, diamonds, and watches. Martin's Coins and Jewelry is Vermont's #1 gold and silver buyer on Shelburne Road in South Burlington, right across from Heritage Toyota.
It was a beautiful summer here in Vermont, and nothing beats the colors of fall. Hi, this is Emma, daughter of Eric Carter from the Carter Insurance Agency. As cooler temperatures come, so do the thoughts of heating our homes. Whether you have a hot air furnace, pellet or wood stove, propane heater, or electric heater, they all should be inspected prior to starting. You should also consider having your chimney inspected. With the end of the summer, it's time to start putting those toys away. One thing to keep in mind is winterizing your camper or boat. What if they weren't winterized properly and there was an issue come spring? Most of these losses can be covered by insurance with the right coverage. Save yourself the hassle, the convenience of the loss, and the claim. A few minutes and dollars spent in prevention will go a long way in making for a more enjoyable winter. To learn more, visit the Carter Agency at 2 South Street in Bristol, 453-6054. That's 453-6054. Or online at carteragencyvt.com. The Carter Agency, ensuring what you do.
This is Tigers Football on 92.1 WVTK.
Well, the Middlebury Tigers, coming in with a record of 1-1, are leading at halftime, 10-0 against the 0-2 Mill River Minutemen. And Bruce, a game that we did expect the Tigers to show up well in against the 0-2 Mill River Minutemen, but a game that is marked by not a lot of scoring. Why don't you give us a rundown of what's happened so far?
Well, as you said, there hasn't really been much, but it got started off early. The Tigers scoring on their first possession of the game. It was a 7-play, 70-yard drive. It was a quick drive. It took 3 minutes off the clock, which culminated in a 7-yard touchdown pass from Daniel to Gabe Cotel. The kick was good. That made it 7-0 Middlebury. And then later in the second quarter, they had a 9-play, 60-yard drive that took 5 minutes and 26 seconds off the clock. Nikolai Lush with a 22-yard field goal, giving the Tigers a 10-0 lead. And that is all we had in the first half.
Yeah, the statistics are kind of interesting. They tell a kind of different game of what's been happening so far. So far for Middlebury, for the quarterbacks, Ryan Thomas Danielle is 6 for 12 for 82 yards and a touchdown. Zach Bean is 7 for 11, 55 yards and 1 interception. Mill River, however, has had a very different experience with one quarterback. That's been Chris Burnett running the show. He is 10 for 25, which is not very efficient, but boy, that's a lot of attempts. 58 yards for the young quarterback, no points on the board. So, Bruce, right now, the Middlebury Tigers in the third week of their season, looking good defensively in terms of everything, but offensively, I think conditions have played a good role tonight.
I do. I think the field is kind of slick. We've had some issues with players falling and also some issues with the quarterbacks having trouble throwing the ball because it was wet and it coming out of their hands and everything. But one of the things that was interesting to me in that first half was the number of possessions. We've seen games this season where the teams haven't had a ton of possessions. In that first half, 10 total possessions, 5 for each team, and Middlebury able to connect twice, a touchdown and a field goal.
I'll step aside for a moment. We'll be back with more halftime on 92.1 WBTK.
Monument Farms in Weybridge is 100% authentic and part of Vermont's heritage. They literally do it all, from growing their own corn, raising the cows, feeding and milking them, then processing and distributing the milk. You can find their great local products in many area stores if you live locally. Please stop by their popular dairy store Monday through Fridays. Monument Farms, landmark quality from the heart of Vermont in Weybridge.
At All-Star Fuels of Bristol and Heart and Meat Energy of Hinesburg, they serve all of Addison County and beyond. High-quality products to homes and businesses no matter how small or big they are. Whether it's heating oil or propane, you'll get automatic delivery. Now is the time to get a quote on a pre-buy too. Call the company that delivers what you need. All-Star Fuels in Bristol and Heart and Meat in Hinesburg. Call 453-3101. That's 453-3101.
Since 1966, Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning in Middlebury has been serving the needs of Addison County. Their family-owned and operated business has helped their customers look their best in good times and tough times with reliable, dependable, and quality service that you can depend on. Providing same-day, on-site cleaning using state-of-the-art technology and machinery, the team at Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning can clean just about anything. From jackets to leather items, tablecloths to doilies, and wedding dresses to vintage items, trust that your items look perfect. Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning offers free pickup and delivery in the Middlebury area, including a drop-off location at the Vermont Marketplace in Bristol and convenient hours. To help their customers impacted by the COVID-19 outbreak, Desiree is offering 24-hour laundromat service 7 days a week and dry cleaning services 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning on Exchange Street in Middlebury.
This is Tigers football on Addison County's WBTK. Port Henry, Bridport, Middlebury. 92.1 WBTK. Now back to the field for more Tigers football on 92.1 WBTK.
And it being early October, it's been dark for a while now. The light's shining down over Doc Collins Field. The officials out in the middle of the field getting ready to talk it over as the Tigers are getting ready to come out of the Tigers' den. On the far side, one of the things that makes things different this year is teams don't really use the other team's facilities. Teams are getting here right before the game starts, things like that. And Mill River spent their time down in the far end zone, or the north end zone, I suppose we want to think about it in terms of compass points. But second half coming up loose, and we'd have to think for the Tigers, I think you're having fun, you're having a successful season, but I still think they probably want to figure out what the solution is to only getting 10 points in a half.
Yeah, I think they're probably want to try to get some more offensive prowess going, if you will. But I also think, as you mentioned a moment ago, that they want to win this game. So what I would expect to see in this half, as they come out, when they get the ball, I would expect to see them try to get some slow, deliberate drives. They're up by 10 points, which is 2 possessions. You get a couple of lengthy drives here. you can put this one away.
And I think, the Tigers did show the real capability there at first in the game, at the beginning to move the ball efficiently. It looked like it was going to be a different game than maybe we expected. But for the Tigers, in the middle of their season, want to look a little bit at who they've played and where they are going. Tigers, of course, are 1-1. They started off with a victory against Otter Valley. That was 20-14. Then they lost at the hands of the Fairhaven Slaters, 24-20, in a game that I think, to me, really exposed the importance of the passing game, which maybe makes sense, maybe is obvious to those at home when we're thinking about 7-on-7 football. But we really saw that as soon as the Littles from Fairhaven run in and they are used to throwing the ball, there was a difference out there on the field. And I think for the Tigers, one of the things that Coach Smith has talked about this year is wanting to get the pass game better for the future. I think now's a great opportunity to really try to put that pedal down.
Well, a lot of the players on all of the teams have to adapt. I mean, Middlebury is not traditionally a passing team, and I think they've looked fairly well this year. But you're right. I think they're going to want to see what they can do to put more points on the board.
Yeah, and I wonder whether that would be try to get. So one thing you were saying before about the kind of the length of a drive is, yes, it's true. If you could put together a nice clock-eating drive, but the one issue with that, and here's where I see it throughout Vermont high school football for as long as I've been doing it, it's very rare for a team to be able to sustain a really long drive. If you start getting into the 9, 10, and then longer play range, teams start making a mistake. And typically you'll see it's a holding penalty at the 30-yard line or something like that, and all of a sudden their progress is stopped. I do think there's enough room for error in these games that long drives, while they are very possible, just a lot of accidents could happen along the way, whereas if you're able to get those quick strike plays, if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But in a game that's only 10-0, you're only one play away from either being way ahead or being right there in an almost tied ball game. So individual big plays here are important, I think, to the logic of the whole thing.
Yeah, I think they are. And one of the aspects of the game that has taken on more importance to me since we're in Game 3 of the year really is clock management and field management. I mean, the players are getting the plays from the coaches, but again, they've got the game clock, and then they've got the timer clock that says it's got to be done in a certain amount of time. We've not really seen in this game them really holding off or letting it run down. They've been running those plays relatively quickly, and that, to me, that's actually a lot more important than I thought it would have been at the start of this season.
Yep. Well, due to some strange timing, we are going to stay here for a minute as the teams get nobody would kick it aside for the moment, but we will stay here at the beginning of the second half. Middlebury Tigers taking on the Mill River Minutemen here on 92.1 WVTK. We've got a score of 10-0 with the Middlebury Tigers ahead after one half, and so far that has been their average per half. So they've been going on average each game, 10 points per half, keeping it up today. Tigers are already out on the field being ready to be defensive. They had the ball first this game. Remember, they had been able to go down and score on that first possession, which we thought was going to set the tone, but it turned out it didn't.
No, it didn't. There were a lot of possessions, 10 possessions between the two teams in that first half. And on Middlebury's first drive, they scored quickly. 7 plays, 70 yards. It only took 3 minutes off the clock. But that was the lone touchdown of that first half. And then the other points Middlebury got in that first half was that really nice-looking field goal by Nikolai Lush, a 22-yarder. And as I also said, I guess, earlier in the game here, he has really turned out to be an extra weapon for the Tigers. He's got a very good-looking kicking game.
And right now it's Mill River looking to get on the board here to start the second half. They have a 1st and 10 from their 30. The quarterback drops back, and he's got a receiver in the middle able to snag it in. That was about a 10-yard pass to Ross Bagley. So a 1st and 10 coming up very quickly for Mill River.
Barry on the stop. It was a 1st down low, 1st and 10.
And it's interesting to think about that, in that case, a tackle is going on while you catch it. In a sense, you already have your hands on it, but if the person can catch it, it's a catch. Quarterback drops back on the 1st and 10, looks down the middle, able to squeeze up for a gain of about 10. That led to Galen Treppenny. They are going to give him the 1st down. I thought it was going to be pretty close there. That's the 4th catch for Galen tonight. Chris Burnett, the quarterback, he's played quarterback all game, brings the team up to the line, sitting exactly on the 50-yard line. He's got 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right, drops back. The receivers are all in motion in front of him. Again, goes to that middle of the field. It's so common in this game. It was a catch for about 8 yards there for running back Ross Bagley. Basically, Bruce, about half of these plays end up occurring right in front of the quarterback, about 5 yards in front of them. And it is going to be a 2nd and 3 coming up from Mill River, sitting on the Tiger 43. It is Burnett calling for the football. He's got 3 receivers off to his left, 2 over to his right. He calls for it, drops back. He's got lots of people. There it is in front of him again. Pretty much that time was a little bit longer. That was about a 12-yard gain to Trapani. He's going to set up house there in the middle of that field. And right now, you can see it by my statistics, 4 receptions so far this quarter, and 10-10, 8-12, averaging 10 yards per play. 2 to the left, 3 to the right for the quarterback who drops back. There it is, right in the middle again. So I think the question is, from a defensive standpoint, how do you get a player in the way to bother that when they have to backpedal a little bit? It's a tough spot. What do you do to take away that short passing game when it's so evident? I mean, pretty much all of these have gone right directly to the same spot in the field. It is 2nd and a short 5 coming up. Quarterback drops over, fakes towards that middle, then insides to left and over the top, goes to Trapani, bounces out of his hands onto his helmet and lands on the ground. So they tried to stretch it out, but even so, the same in the middle of that field again.
Down to 12-19 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Middlebury leading 10-0. 3rd and 4 from the Tigers 29. 3rd and 4 for the Minutemen. They come up to the line. Burnett in the shotgun. He's got a running back with him in the backfield. Trapani moving him back to his hip. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. One of those receivers comes over to the right. Pumps towards Trapani, then throws it back towards Trapani. Trapani falls down. Flag comes in. Wonder if that's going to be pass interference against Sam Warren. Sam was standing near him. It kind of looked like Trapani slipped, but also the football fell out. Interestingly enough, I actually am not sure if this is a rule right now or not. It was not a catchable ball. I don't know if that would make a difference. That's a good point.
But I don't know if that's the case here. So we won't worry about that. Instead, we will look at them marking the chains. It's going to be a Mill River first down after that pass interference penalty. It's quite a punishment, actually, given how quickly, the penalty only happened a little past the line of scrimmage. If they mark off 15 yards, it's going to be 1st and 10, for Mill River at the 14-yard line of the Tigers. 11:07 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Tigers leading 10-0, but Mill River looking to threaten. 3 receivers off to the left, 2 to the right for the quarterback. He drops back. He's looking to the middle again, and he is going to pick up about 9 yards to his favorite spot on the field, to Bagley. Ross Bagley. And it's going to be 2nd and about 3 coming up. They can get a first down before the end zone. If they make it to what looks like from here about the 4-yard line, they would get a first down. Burnett back in the shotgun. 2 to his left, 3 to his right. He calls for it, looks towards the middle, pumps, throws over to his right a little bit. If the receiver's not quite able to get the corner after he caught it, it was complete, but it wasn't many yards. Maybe gave him 2 yards on that play. 2 Bagley.
It's going to be 3rd and 1.
It's going to be 3rd and 1 coming up here for Mill River. They're going to get a heavy left here. Oh, no, partially was that the center has set up. Actually, they're going to have a heavy right. 3 receivers off to the right, 2 to the left. Quarterback calls for it, drops back. He's got options in the end zone, and he's going to have a touchdown in the end zone. That was Ross Bagley, who just caught 5 balls in this quarter. That is a 4-yard touchdown. And that is the first touchdown on the night for Chris Burnett. Not for want of trying, though. He looks like he has almost 40 attempts so far in this game. So right now, Mill River send the kicker out there to see if they can pull it within 3. 9:24 left to go in this 3rd quarter. As they talk it out, Bruce, that was a pretty efficient drive by Mill River.
It certainly was. It was a 10-play, 70-yard drive taking 5 minutes and 30 seconds off the clock. And they did really what they came out to do as we started the second half, right in the middle, passes between 8 and 10 yards.
And they are going for a 2-point conversion from the 10-yard line, throwing it towards the end zone. It's going to be batted down by Middlebury. Another nice play. Willem with a real nice catch at the beginning of the game. And right now it is 10-6. Tigers over Mill River, 92-1 WVTK.
At All-Star Fuels of Bristol and Heart and Meat Energy of Hinesburg, they serve all of Addison County and beyond. They provide high-quality products to homes and businesses no matter how small or big they are. Whether it's heating oil or propane, you'll get automatic delivery. Now is the time to get a quote on a pre-buy, too. Call the company that delivers what you need. All-Star Fuels in Bristol and Heart and Meat in Hinesburg. Call 453-3101. That's 453-3101.
Do you have jewelry? Collections just
And
collecting
Middlebury
dust.
Tigers
They
looking
may
to
be
make something
good,
happen here on
but
first and 10, starting out from their own 30. Flag comes back in the backfield, and it's going to be thrown over the near side of Middlebury with a nice pickup. They didn't quite call the tackle there around the 50. We'll see where they give it. We're not on yet. And holding call against the Minutemen. That was declined. It looks like the officials may have missed the fact that Willem was tackled at the 50. I think they gave him a little extra yardage there. So that was a 26-yard pickup to Middlebury. And right now the Tigers looking at first and 10 from their own 44. Sorry, from the 44 of Mill River. And it is going to be quarterback looking downfield. He's going to throw it up again. Sam Warren out on the sideline. Not going to be able to bring it in. And it's going to be second down coming up.
Brings up a 2nd and 10 from the...
2nd and 10 coming up for the Middlebury Tigers. And right now, big nice pass play there, Bruce, from Middlebury, able to bring it in. This put the Tigers in good field position, sitting at the 44-yard line of the Mill River Minutemen, looking at a 2nd and 10 with 7:24 on the clock. Ryan Tamastano jumps over to his left, throws it downfield, is able to catch about a 7-yard gainer there to Wyatt LaFleur, I believe. No, I'm sorry. I'll take that back. Look at my number. Cooper LaRoche with his first catch on the day. And that was about a 5-yard gain. Middlebury Tigers are looking now at a 2nd and 6 with 6:54 left to go here in this quarter. Ryan Thomas Daniel back in the shotgun. One receiver to his left, 3 to his right, and then a running back. Colin Bradford going into motion. This time wide open space to Middlebury. He's running down to the 20. He's going to get to the 16, I think, is where they're going to tag him. That's a nice 23-yard gain. These two really have it going together tonight. They have over 100 yards between them in passing.
And there was a nice pass and a nice run after catching the pass. That's one of the things that Middlebury has done well tonight. Unlike the Minutemen that have had some issues with this, the Tigers have been catching the ball, getting it, and then going and not dropping them.
Well, I think we're partially seeing Middlebury's speed here. He's able to get out in open spaces with nobody really around him. He's big, strong, and fast. He's quite a target out there for the Tigers. And Ryan Thomas-Stadium back in the backfield looking. He's got Colin to his left. He's got other people to his left. Throw it over to the far sideline. Just in and out of the hands of the receiver over on the far sideline. But, Ryan Thomas-Stadium delivers a nice ball.
And he puts it in a position where his receivers can catch it. It was well thrown, and it was strategically placed so it wouldn't get picked off.
And right now, the Middlebury Tigers are looking at a 2nd and 10. 5:42 left to go on the clock here in this third. Tigers are leading only 10-6. It's a close game here. More than halfway through the third quarter. Ryan Thomas-Daniel in the shotgun. He's got 2 off to his right with Colin Bradford far behind Sam Warren, 3 off to his left. He looks to his left, overthrows, and behind Dalton Rayon. And this is going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brings up a 3rd and 10.
Middlebury has been pretty efficient on this drive, especially due to 2 long passing plays to Middlebury, one for 26 yards and one for 23. Right now, the Tigers, though, slowing up a little bit. 3rd and 10 from the 15-yard line of the Minutemen. 3 receivers off to the left, 2 to the right. And he drops back, looking for receivers open, comes back to the middle. He's got Colin Bradford in the middle, unable to release it well. It's going to end up being 4th down. Given the kicking things, I'd actually send Nikolai out here right now.
I agree. I mean, from a strategic standpoint, you can either go for the touchdown or send out Nikolai, who's been pretty reliable this year. And it looks like that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued to see how far away he can hit it reliably, because when he kicked that last one, this is going to be a little longer. This is going to be about 32 yards, and we'll see. But when he kicked it, it looked good. And he's got it. Still plenty of room, Bruce. Still plenty of room. And the Middlebury Tigers are leading 13-6 on 92.1 WVTK.
It was a beautiful summer here in Vermont, and nothing beats the colors of fall. Hi, this is Emma, daughter of Eric Carter from the Carter Insurance Agency. As cooler temperatures come, so do the thoughts of heating our homes. Whether you have a hot air furnace, pellet or wood stove, propane heater, or electric heater, they all should be inspected prior to starting. You should also consider having your chimney inspected. With the end of the summer, it's time to start putting those toys away. One thing to keep in mind is winterizing your camper or boat. What if they weren't winterized properly and there was an issue come spring? Most of these losses can be covered by insurance with the right coverage. Save yourself the hassle, the expense, and inconvenience of the loss and the claim. A few minutes and dollars spent in prevention will go a long way in making for a more enjoyable winter. To learn more, visit the Carter Agency at 2 South Street in Bristol, 453-6054. That's 453-6054. Or online at carteragencyvt.com. The Carter Agency, ensuring what you do.
You're listening to MUHS Tigers football on 92.1 WVTK.
Since the beautiful field goal by Nikolai Lush, Mill River has had a run play. That was a 5-yard pitch and catch to number 80, Ryan Bluger. Right now it is a 2nd and 5 coming up for Mill River. They're throwing it towards this near sideline, tipped up in the air. Nice work there by Sam Warren to knock it down. Right now, Tigers have had a lot of pass breakups today. They've done a nice job with that.
Yeah, and Warren very nearly intercepted that as well. He not only knocked it up, but he also almost was able to grab that. It would have been a heck of a play catching that when it was on the ground. It came close to happening. 3:20 left to play in this third quarter. Middlebury leading 13-6.
And Mill River looking at a 3rd and 5 from their own 35-yard line. And the quarterback is back in the shotgun as Burnett. He's looking downfield. He's got it coming wide open out of that backfield. It's going to be a 1st down pass to his favorite receiver, Galen Treppenny. About a 6-yard gain there for Treppenny. And he doesn't have as many yards on the night as a Tigers leading receiver, but he's doing pretty well there. Looks like he's well over 50 on the evening, is Treppenny. Hard to match Willem Berry at the moment, who is over 100 yards for the day. It is Burnett, brings his team up to the line. He's got 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 1 in the backfield with him. And he waits for it and calls for it, and there comes the ball, drops back. He's got the ball in motion. He's got a short man in front of him. That's going to be Treppenny. He's going to get about 4 yards on that play. Tigers really pretty welcome to just let them stay in front of him and tackle him when they need to.
Yeah, the Tigers really in almost a prevent defense here, preventing and allowing those short passes as opposed to allowing something much longer. But Mill River, to their credit, they're using what's worked for them so far tonight.
Absolutely. That soft space in the middle of the field has been their favorite place to do business. 3 to the left, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 1 running back in the backfield. They're going to throw to that middle again, and that was a catch this time. The catch was made by Philip Severy, who had some drops earlier in the game, but was able to be effective there. That's going to be a pickup of about 2 there. About 4, actually. 3rd and 2 coming up for Mill River, exactly on the 50-yard line. He asks for it, drops back. He's got a man open. It's going to be a 1st down for Treppenny. Tries to turn the corner on the defender, but can't. Still, though, he's going to be able to pick up about a 4-yard gain. That's going to be enough for a 1st down for the Mill River Minutemen. Time's ticking, though, Bruce. We talked about a lot tonight. You can see it's evident right now on the scoreboard. 1:13 left to go in this third quarter. Mill River trailing by a touchdown. Looking to see if they can even it up on the board. Quarterback drops back. He's going to bomb it up. He's looking downfield. All sorts of people around. This could get messy. It gets knocked down. The old tip drill. Nobody ends up with it. There's almost too many defenders there at the same time, Bruce.
Well, it's exciting for the broadcasters. You see it go up in the air, and all the players come together. There was about 6 or 7 different players there, and we were kind of wondering who's going to come down with it.
Wonder who's going to come out of there. And right now, for the Bigs, this is their last chance to make something happen. About 40 seconds left to go. It is Burnett dropping back, looking towards the middle of the field, their favorite spot. That was a pass to Bolger, and a pass right in the center of that field again, about a 5-yard gain. We're looking at a 3rd and 6 coming up. Oh, 3rd and 6 coming up for Mill River. Time's ticking away, 18 seconds on the clock. Quarterback throws it over to this near side. It's going to be Trapani again. Might as well give it to him as much as you possibly can. That's going to be a 6-yard catch. It's going to be a first down. Mill River is willing to let it go into the fourth quarter. It's 13-6 Tigers at the end of the third on 92.1 WVTK.
Since 1966, Desiree Laundry and Dry
Oh,
Cleaning
yeah,
in
done
Middlebury
early.
has been serving the needs of Addison County. Their family-owned and operated business has helped their customers look their best in good times and tough times with reliable, dependable, and quality service that you can depend on. Providing same-day, on-site cleaning using state-of-the-art technology and machinery, the team at Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning can clean just about anything. From jackets to leather items, tablecloths to doilies, and wedding dresses to vintage items, trust the Desiree team to make your items look perfect. Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning offers free pickup and delivery in the Middlebury area, including a drop-off location at the Vermont Marketplace in Bristol and convenient hours. To help their customers impacted by the COVID-19 outbreak, Desiree is offering 24-hour laundromat service 7 days a week and dry cleaning services 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Desiree Laundry and Dry Cleaning on Exchange Street in Middlebury.
You're listening to MUHS Tigers football on 92.1 WVTK.
And the Mill River Minutemen looking at a 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line of the Middlebury Tigers. I've got a complete pass. They've got a new group out there for Mill River. This is going to be their Littles. It's the Littles for the Tigers as well. Only about 2 yards gained on that pass play for Mill River and for Chris Burnett. And now he's going for 2nd and 8. Drops back, looking for his receivers. Targeting that middle again. And this is a little more to the left this time of where they've typically been targeting it. Basically, Bruce, what's really happening very often is the receiver is going out, and it's called sitting down. They're turning, and they're getting their haunches down, and they're kind of waiting in an open space. And the quarterback's delivering it quickly enough that it's effective. Not quite enough for a first down. It's going to be 3rd and 2 coming up. Burnett drops back, looks over to the left side. Ball gets tipped up. Nice job there by the Tiger defense. I think that was number 81, Bodie Rubright, with the pass deflection. Right now for Mill River, it was a promise to say interesting spot. Normally this would be a 4th and 1 at this stage of the game. We'd all line up and smash into each other and try to pick up that first down. Nothing going like that in this all-passing 7-on-7 current reality here for Vermont high school football. So it's going to be 4th and 1, and they're going to be in the spread, trying to throw it. 2 to the left, 3 to the right. Sorry, 3 to the right, 2 to the left, and they're going to pick up that first down easily. The player was able to almost turn upfield, but got strung out towards the right sideline. That went to Dallas Bryant. Went from the 27 up to about the 20. That was a 7-yard gain there for Dallas Bryant.
Bryant doing a nice job catching that pass and using his speed to pick up those 7 yards. Down to 13:05 left to play in the fourth quarter. Middlebury leading 13-6, but the Minutemen on the 20.
2 to the left, 3 to the right for the Mill River Minutemen. They're going to short here. A gain of about 5 yards. Just a very, very, very shallow crossing route coming across in front of the quarterback. Picks up about 4. And Mill River moving pretty effectively right now, looking at about a 7 and about 6, sitting at the 16-yard line of the Middlebury Tigers. Here comes the snap. Quarterback drops back, looking around. Oh, boy, that's going to be trouble. The Tigers get in each other's way, potentially. That's happened quite a few times tonight. That kind of should have been picked off.
It should have been picked off, and that is throwing a pass into danger right there. 12:20 left to play in this fourth quarter, 13-6 Middlebury, but the Mill River Minutemen threatening with the ball on the 16-yard line. Bjarke, this is the 14th play of this drive that began at 4:16 of the third quarter, with 4:16 remaining, in the third quarter.
And let's see if I'm right. One thing I argued earlier in this game was drives this long tend to have something go wrong in them to stall them. We'll see what happens. Right now, 2 off to the left, 2 to the right, 1 in the backfield for quarterback Chris Burnett. He calls for it. He looks right. He's now looking left. A lot going on in front of him. He's going to chuck it towards the end zone. Is the receiver pull it in? He did. Well, instead it went right for the Mill River Minutemen. 16-yard touchdown. And a nice catch there. And right now they're going to see that was to number 10, Evan McPhee was that touchdown. That's his second catch on the day. He has 33 yards on the day and 1 touchdown. Mill River's going to go for another 2-point conversion attempt. And here they go. They're set up at the 10-yard line is how they work. 3 receivers to the left, 2 off to the right. Here comes the snap. Quarterback looking towards the end zone. They're all pretty close. Throws it shallow. You're not going to get that, though. It was complete, but not enough. And Mill River is now trailing. Interesting decision. Mill River is now trailing by a point on 92.1 WVTK.
Hi, this is John Wallace, graduate gemologist.
Mill River just chose not to try to tie it.
Well, they did it on the play before, too. Well, you think about it. They lose this game. They tried 1 2-point conversion that didn't work, and that was another one. They'd be winning if they had those work. I mean, assuming the kicks are good.
Staff of very talented designers and goldsmiths.
I'm not sure I would have done that.
In-house repairs, restorations, and appraisals as well. Autumn Gold, the earth.
I'm sorry, who caught that pass?
Oh, that was...
At All-Star Fuels of Bristol and Heart and Mead Energy of Heinsberg, they serve all of Addison County and beyond. They provide high-quality products to homes and businesses no matter how small or big they are. Whether it's heating oil or propane, you'll get auto delivery. Now is the time to get a quote on a pre-buy, too. Call the company that delivers what you need. All-Star Fuels in Bristol and Heart and Mead in Heinsberg. Call 453-3101. That's 453-3101.
You're listening to MUHS Tigers football on 92.1 WVTK.
And the Middlebury Tigers are trying the Mill River Minutemen, and they are going to get a pass interference call. Middlebury Tigers have come back from that Mill River touchdown and had an incomplete pass, but instead chucked it way downfield. Looked like Gabe Dunn was getting some space there, got run over by a Minuteman. Actually, wasn't a lot of contact, but it looked like pass interference. And sure enough, Tigers are going to pick up some passing yards there, or at least some yards on the field. They won't be passing yards, but they'll be yards on the field. And the Tigers only leading by 1 point here, 13-12, and 9:52 left to go in the fourth. They need any yards they can get. They need a little bit of a cushion here. But, Bruce, we're just up here confounded by Mill River's decision to go for 2 there.
I do not understand that coaching decision. I don't pretend to be a football coach. But, again, there's 2 missed 2-point conversions so far in this game. And that's the difference between being behind and being tied or ahead.
And I clearly missed something out of the field here because it was clearly looked like it was pass interference.
The ball on the 45 and give Middlebury a 1st and 10.
And they're bringing it back. All right, so it's going to be at the 45. They're going to give Middlebury first time. It looked like nobody knew exactly where they were going right there, but it is going to be 1st and 10 for Middlebury from the 45-yard line on their own side of the field. 4 Tigers on the left side, 1 to the right of Zach Bean. Zach comes to receiver to go back to him. It's Bodie Rubright. Bodie's going to get a 1st down over on that right side. 11-yard pass from Bean to his favorite target, Bodie Rubright.
1st down.
See, and here's where the challenge is with this system that we've seen. Well, they were trying to figure that out, that penalty there. About 20 seconds ticked off the clock.
Time's flying along already. 8:44, as you say, left in the game. Zach Bean out in shotgun. 3 over to the left, 2 to his right. He calls for it, gets the delivery, looks around, looks down the middle of the field. Nice job there by Nikolai Lush. Gets shoved in the back. That's going to be an 11-yard gain. Very similar to where Mill River has been putting the ball. About 10 yards ahead in front of the quarterback, right in the middle of the field. That was the same thing that happened there. We'll give them a 9-yard gain, I guess. I thought it was a 1st down. We'll give them a 9-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd and 1 coming up for the Middlebury Tigers. 3 on the left for the Tigers. Zach Bean. 2 on the right, actually. No, Mason Kaufman comes over and becomes the running back on the left side. of Zach's hip. So it's going to be 2 to the left, 3 to the left, a running back, and 1 to the right. Bean is going to throw it up high, looking to take advantage of Bodie's height. I assume that's Bodie. Yes, it is. Nice pass there from the 34, and that goes down to the 19 or so. Give them a 15-yard pass play there. Rubright coming through again from Bean. And Zach right now looking over this sideline. Time ticking away, 7:31, 7:30, ticking down. Tigers leading by 1, looking to score again from their own from the Mill River 19-yard line. Bean drops back, looking downfield. He goes short. Looks like that's with that too. Pass, 4-yard pass completion out there to number 20, Jay Davis. That's going to be his first catch of the day. And it is going to be 2nd and about 7 coming up for the Middlebury Tigers. Looking at a 2nd and 7 on their 15-yard line of Mill River. 6:52 left to go in the game. Tigers leading by 1, 13-12. Zach being back in the shotgun. He's got 3 on his left. 2 to his right. Dennis Smith walks out of the field, giving some last-second instructions. Here comes the snap to Bean. He's looking to the right, looking to the center, into that magic space in the middle of the field. And it is going to be Mason Kaufman picking up about 7 yards on that pass play. So 10, I'll give him a 5-yard run. Thought it was a little farther than that. Going to be 3rd and 2 coming up for the Tigers. Bean has 2 to his left. 3 to his right, including Kaufman, the running back, near his hip. Drops back, looking left. Now coming back right, looking left again. He's going to go far to the end zone. He's going to have a chance out of Gabe Dunn's hands. Tigers right now are going to be looking at a 4th and 2. At this stage of the game, knowing what you know, I think you have to go for it because a field goal actually doesn't put you ahead by a touchdown. You know, Mill River probably isn't going to kick a field goal. So right now, a touchdown matters. There's no reason to kick this ball. 2 receivers to the left, 3 to the right. And it is Bean in the backfield. He moves Nikolai Luskover from the right to the left. Here comes the snap. He drops back. He's got options. He's got Nikolai close to him. He's got a ball in the field, but he also has a flag on the field. It's going to be pass interference against Mill River. Tough call against the Minutemen, but a good call for Middlebury. I mixed Minutemen with Middlebury, and I ended up with an economic term. 5:11 left to go in the game. Tigers leading 13-12. It is, however, a 4th and 2 coming up. I don't think it should be, though. Wasn't there a flag on the play?
Half the distance to the goal line.
Yes, that's what I thought. Half the distance to the goal line. 1st and 10 coming up for Middlebury. They should be sitting at about the 5 if it's half the distance.
That's a pretty big penalty.
Yeah, that's huge, given where they are in this game. Absolutely. Middlebury's going to get 4 shots in the end zone here. They've got 2 to the left, 3 to the right for Zach Bean, who's dropping back. He's going to have a chance to throw it out nearby. That's going to be Bodie, who's going to pick up maybe 2 over on the right flat. Bodie's had a good night tonight. 5 catches for about 41 yards. Middlebury Tigers, 4:17 left to go, leading by 1, 2nd and 3 from the 3-yard line. Zach Bean waiting for it. He's got 2 to his left, 3 to his right. Drops back, looking at all sorts of options in the middle. Comes down very close to himself. Really maybe a gain of 1 or 2. We'll give 2 there to Jordan Martin. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 1. So right now, interesting spot. You cannot just push your way in. You have to throw something. It's going to be pretty congested in the middle of the field. No opportunity for play action, anything like that. 2 receivers off to the left, 3 to the right. Bean calls for it, drops back. He's going to have chances. He throws the dart. And that is going to be a touchdown to Jordan Martin. They're saying Rubright. I thought it was... No, I think it's Jordan Martin on that touchdown, number 8. And a 2-yard touchdown. Zach Bean able to get that touchdown there and stretch it out for the Tigers. Nikolai's going to come in to kick the field goal, or the extra point. Here comes the snap, the hold, the kick. And it's good. 20-12 on 92.1 WVTK.
It was a beautiful summer here in Vermont, and nothing beats the colors of fall. Hi, this is
Time
Helen,
left.
daughter of Eric Carter from the Carter Insurance Agency. As
3
cooler
minutes
temperatures
left.
come, so do the thoughts of heating our homes. Whether you have a hot air furnace, pellet or wood stove, propane heater, or electric heater, they all should be inspected prior to starting. You should also consider having your chimney inspected. With the end of the summer, it's time to start putting those toys away. One thing to keep in mind is winterizing your camper or boat. What if they weren't winterized properly and there was an issue come spring? Most of these losses can be covered by insurance with the right coverage. Save yourself the hassle, the expense, and inconvenience of the loss and the claim. A few minutes and dollars spent in prevention will go a long way in making for a more enjoyable winter. To learn more, visit the Carter Agency at 2 South Street in Bristol, 453-6054. That's 453-6054. Or online at carteragencyvt.com. The Carter Agency, ensuring what you do.
You're listening to MUHS Tigers football on 92.1 WVTK.
Mill River has the football. They have a short pass on their first play of the drive. Now it's their second, looking at a 2nd and 6. And the quarterback throws it, almost picked off there. It was Nikolai almost getting his hands on an interception. Oh, I thought he actually got a catch. I completely apologize. I missed that, Bruce. I thought it was almost an interception. No, it was a first down there for Lengele. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for Mill River from the 41-yard line. Here comes Snap. The quarterback drops back, looking at his middle. Going to pick up about 6 on that play. That goes to number 40 on Mill River. That's going to be Connor LaPiccolo. 2nd and 4 coming up for Mill River. 2 minutes left to go on the clock. If Mill River can score and get a point after, score and get a 2-point conversion, they would tie the game. And they showed up a lot of contact down there. No flag called. Basically thrown to the left sideline. Lots of bodies hitting bodies. Nothing called. And it's going to be 3rd and 4 for Mill River. Keep in mind, the clock's still ticking. It's 1:37, Bruce.
But both teams still have 3 timeouts each, so we'll see if that comes into play here.
And 1:29 left to go on the clock. Here's the snap. And he looks in the middle, and the receiver is able to get it. That is, I believe, going to be a first down for Johnny Verton, his first catch of the game. Timeout called by Mill River. And right now, Bruce, the interesting thing is Mill River has gone for 2 2-point conversions, have been unsuccessful both times. Right now, they don't just need a touchdown. They need the touchdown and that 2 points.
Well, and if you go back and you can't really assume anything when it comes to kicking in Vermont high school football. But if you put those 2 on the board, a touchdown wins this game, or at least ties it without the kick. So we'll see how that comes into play. Middlebury Union High School Tiger football on WVTK is brought to you in part this season by Autumn Gold Jewelry, featuring the Earth's most beautiful gifts. Autumn Gold Jewelry on Main Street in downtown Middlebury and online at autumngoldjewelry.com. The National Bank of Middlebury, with locations in Middlebury, Bristol, Vergennes, Brandon, and Heinsberg, and also online at nbvt.com. Martin's Coins and Jewelry on Shelburne Road in South Burlington, and also online at martinscoins.com.
And Mill River coming out at 1:18 left to go. They're trailing by 8, looking to make something happen. It is a 1st and 10 from about the 48 of the Tigers. Quarterback pumps it a few times, comes back short, and the ball falls to the earth. And again, they can't just take their time. The clock is ticking. It's 2nd down. No one can lose track of that fact. An incomplete pass does not cause clock stoppage. 2nd and 10 now from the 48. Here comes the snap to Burnett. Here comes the snap. He's got his receivers going out. He's got one close. You're not going to get much that way, Mill River. They picked up about 5 yards, but time is just flying away. They need to uncork this defense if you're Mill River. If you're the Tigers, you're just going to play back as far as you can here. Keep it all in front of you. And Burnett drops back. He's going to throw it over here close, and the man's going to get sacked immediately. I would think there's going to be a timeout called with 30 seconds left on the clock. It's very, very hard to handle last-minute drives, last-minute situations with this clock.
Yeah, it's definitely added a new wrinkle into the strategy of these games, that's for sure. And Middlebury Union High School Tiger football on WVTK is brought to you in part this season by Woodware, offering the finest furniture, housewares, and accessories on Route 7 South in Middlebury. Mike's Auto and Towing for all your car care needs and a whole lot more. See them online at mikesautomid.com. That's mikesautomid.com. The Automaster BMW and Mini of Burlington on Shelburne Road and Champlain Drive in Shelburne. and the Automaster BMW and Mini of Burlington. Automaster ahead of the curve. Carter Insurance of Bristol on South Street in Bristol. The Carter Insurance Agency, insuring what you do. All-Star Fuels in Hart and Mead of Bristol and Heinsberg on Elm Street in Bristol and Route 116 in Heinsberg.
And here comes Mill Rivers, 4th and 2 from the 30-yard line. Their game hangs in the balance right here. It is quarterback Chris Burnett. He has 2 off to his left, a running back with him, 2 receivers to his right. He moves one of those receivers in motion, and they're going to look downfield. They do have a man open, but he was able to catch it. A catch at about the 20. Mill Rivers going to need to get up. It's 20 seconds, 19 seconds, 18 seconds. They're going to need to make something happen here. Burnett coming up to the line. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Here comes the snap. They're going to need to get down towards that end zone. Burnett feels it. He comes back close. That ball falls incomplete. They do have a timeout, does Mill River. So 3rd timeout, 4.4. You have to expect here, Bruce. They're just going to go for the end zone.
They'll put it in the end zone and see if they can harness some lightning in a bottle here and get this within 1. Let me ask you, because I don't know this. If they score here, they do get the
They would get a chance.
They get the chance.
Point.
Okay.
They get a chance for an extra point. But the interesting thing is, this is like the Vermont high school version of a Hail Mary here, right here, Bruce. They're sitting at the 20, and they're going to try to chuck it into the end zone. It's kind of that play. It's going to be up in the air. People are going to bump each other. Now, here's going to be an interesting element of restraint on the part of the officials. The ball's going to go up. It's going to get the end zone. Players are going to run into each other like crazy. At what point does the official call pass interference, and at what point don't they? The amount. I mean, if the Tigers are going to have to be disciplined here, at the same time, for the officials, they're going to have to stay kind of disciplined to what they know they're going to have to do, and they're not really used to this all that much. So an interesting play here. 4.4 left to go on the clock. Mill River is trailing by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. This is it. This is going to be the play. They're set up minus something crazy happen. They are set up from the 20. They have no timeouts, and they're trailing by 8 points. This is all of it. Chris Burnett back in the shotgun. 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. They are going to jet downfield. He's going to get someone to the end zone. He's going to throw it up high. There's a chance, and it's going to be batted down by Gabe Dunn. And that's it. The Middlebury Tigers, for the 3rd week in a row, have scored 20 points on 92 WBTK. They have turned it into a win this week with a 20-12 victory over the Mill River Minutemen. We'll step aside for a moment. When we come back, we will have our post-game analysis, our recap from Bruce, and our JP Carrera player of the game. You just listen to the Middlebury Tigers defeat Mill River 20-12 on 92.1 WVTK.
Do you have jewelry or coin collections just collecting dust? It may be worth money. The price of gold and silver is at an all-time high, and it's a great time to sell. Visit Martin's Coins and Jewelry for a free appraisal and the highest payout in the area. John Martin, owner of Martin's Coins and Jewelry, is a senior numismatist and a lifetime